Hello there, this is Mr. Roche and his sidekick Wilson, bringing you another episode of Mr. Roche's Flip Class Math 10 No Frills, No Thrills, Low Budget, Low Tech videos. This video is Linear Relations Part 5, and specifically we'll be talking about the slope point form of a linear relation. In this particular video, we'll be developing the slope point form of the equation, and we'll be doing examples using the slope point form equation, and also to convert them to the general and slope Y-intercept forms. So here we go. Ready, Wilson? Where is he? Yeah, there he is. So first we're going to develop the slope point form of a linear relation. First let's look at the slope formula. It looks like this. And that's how we find slope if we know the coordinates of 2 points. But what if we only knew the coordinates of 1 point and knew the slope and we want to find maybe another point or something like that? Well, this is what we could do. We could rewrite this formula so that it would allow us to do that easier. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite that so that we can easily input other coordinates of other points. So I'm going to rewrite this a little bit and put this over here and this over here. So it's going to look like this. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals m. Now I want to get rid of this down here, so I'm going to multiply both of my sides of the equation by x2 minus x1. What that'll do is allow us to cancel this off. Okay? And now I have y2 minus y1 equals m times x2 minus x1. Okay, now if I have a slope, I can insert it here, and if I have 1 point, I can put those coordinates in here for x and here for y. And these will remain generic so that I can use them to find any other point. Knowing one of the coordinates, I can find the other one. So I'm just going to leave these as just x and y. Okay? When we look at the other forms of the equation, the general form, we have ax plus by plus c equals 0. I have an x and a y. When I have the slope-intercept form, I have y equals mx plus b. I always need a y and an x, or an x and a y, so that if I know the coordinates of of a point, I can always find the other one. Or if I know both coordinates, I can see if that point satisfies that relation. So here we have yet another form. So now, if I know that slope equals a certain value, let's say 4, and I have a point that has certain coordinates, say 3, 2, I can just put this 4 in for the slope here, and I can put the coordinates of the 3 in for my x1, and my 2 in for my y1, and then I can rework that. I can leave it in this form, or I can change it to one of our other forms, and that's what the rest of this video is going to be about. So let's get going. Okay, let's do this example. First we'll start off with our slope point form of the equation. Now we'll do some substitutions. Put the slope in here and the coordinates of the point in here. So y minus, my y coordinate is 1, equals, the slope is 2, and x minus, my x coordinate is 5. Okay, now I do my distribution to get rid of the brackets. Okay. By the way, had they asked for the information to be left in slope point form, I could have left it like this. But in order to convert those to one of the other forms, general or slope Y-intercept form, I'm going to distribute or expand out the brackets, and then from here it's easy to do the conversion. So first I'm going to do the general form. So there I want everything brought over to the left side, starting with the x's, then the y's, and the constant. So 2x will come over as negative 2x plus that y minus the 1, and this minus 10 I'll bring over as plus 10, equals 0. Now, I'm going to simplify. Negative 1 and positive 10 are positive 9. Okay. Now remember, in general form, the leading coefficient must be a natural number. We cannot have a negative. So I'm going to multiply all my terms by negative. That'll keep the values, the equation the same amount. So that's 2x minus y plus 9 equals 0. Okay, let's also change this to the slope y-intercept form. In this case, I want everything brought over to the right side except for the y. So the y I'll leave on the left. This will be 2x. This I'll bring across as plus 1. And this will remain negative 10. And I'm left with y equals 2x minus 9. Okay, you can see here, this is the slope. You can see here, in this form, that is a slope. And you can see here, remember that in general form, it's negative a over b is a slope. Negative 2 over negative 1 is 2. So no matter which way we do it, we get the same slope. And we should be able to find the y-intercept each way as well. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, another example. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus y1, there it is, equals m times x minus negative 3. Okay, now I'm going to simplify a bit. Y minus 6 equals negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Now minus negative 3 is the same as add 3, so negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. And now I can change that to general form by moving all my terms to the left. This would come over as positive 4x plus y minus 6, and that comes over as plus 12, so negative 6 plus 12 is plus 6. Done. Oh, equals 0. For the y, the slope y-intercept, y equals negative 4x. This comes over as plus 6 minus 12. Y equals negative 4x minus 6. Okay. Okay, let's try this one, a little bit more difficult. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We have y minus negative 4 equals negative 2/3 times x minus 10. Okay, so this is actually y plus 4 equals negative 2/3 times x is negative 2/3 x. And negative 2/3 times negative 10 is positive 20/3. Hopefully I have enough room for the conversions here. Okay, so when I bring that over to, for general form, I'm going to have, this comes over as 2/3 x plus y plus 4 plus, or minus 20/3. So plus 4. Now I'm going to end up adding this plus 4 and negative 20/3. So to make life easier, I'm going to change this to thirds. So 4 is the same as 12/3. So I have plus 12/3. Bring that over as minus 20/3 equals 0. So now I have 2/3 x plus y. Positive 12/3 and negative 20/3 is negative 8/3 equals 0. Okay, now that's almost in general form, but I can't have a fraction in general form. So I'm going to multiply all my terms by a common denominator of the denominators that are there. They're both 3, so I'm going to multiply all my terms by 3. This by 3 leaves me 2x. This term by 3 is positive 3y. And this term by 3 is negative 8 equals 0. Whoop, I missed. There we go. Sorry for scrunching so much, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Y-intercept. Y equals negative 2/3 x. And I'm going to bring this over as thirds again, so that's 12/3. I'm going to bring it over as negative 12/3 and positive 20/3. So that's y equals negative 2/3 x. Negative 12/3 and positive 20/3 is positive 8/3. Okay, so fractions are no problem in that form. I'm done. Whoops. One last example. Find the equation of the line joining those 2 points. Okay, well this is a different kind. Well, I don't have the slope, but I can find the slope real fast. Let's find it. Slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus xy, which is 3 minus 1 is the y's, over 1 minus 4. So that's 3 minus 1 is 2, over 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So the slope equals negative 2/3. And so now I have a slope, and I need a point. Well, I have 2 points I can choose from them. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. That one. Okay? So I'm going to use that slope and that point now to find the equation of the line. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And now I have y minus 3 equals, the slope is negative 2/3, times x minus that one, 1. So y minus 3 equals negative 2/3 x. That times that is plus 2/3. There. Now I can switch it to either form. Let us do that real quick. That comes over as 2/3 x plus y. I'm going to make that 3 into thirds so I can combine these these two terms. So that's minus 9/3. That comes over as minus 2/3 equals 0. So that's 2/3 x plus y. Negative 9/3 and negative 2/3 is negative 11/3. And now I'm going to multiply all my terms by 3 to get rid of the denominators, because I don't want those in general form. So now I have 2x plus 3y minus 11 equals 0. Okay, and for slope y-intercept form, y equals negative 2/3 x. Bring that over as positive 9/3 and positive 2/3. And now simplify those. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 11/3. And that's done. And you can always check and make sure by doing things like find the slope of each form. The slope here is that one. The slope here is that one, exactly the same. Remember, the slope of the general form is negative a over b. So that would be negative 2 over 3, exactly the same. What about the y-intercepts? Well, the y-intercept is this. The y-intercept here is negative c over b. So that would be a negative 11 over 3, which is positive 11 over 3. The same. How would I find the y-intercept here? Well, let's make x equal to 0. If this was 0, this would be negative 2/3 times negative 1, which is positive 2/3. And then if we brought this over as positive 9/3, then I have positive 2/3, positive 9/3, and positive 11/3. It all works no matter what. Okay, that's it. So, thanks for now. Thanks for joining.